No. Okay, we're good. We're getting there. Good evening, America. Hello, Pittsburgh. Hello, how are you? Trying not to yell too loud, even though I'm angry and bitter this evening. See who we get that pops on for us here live through the Facebook app, and we're right here for everybody also on YouTube. Join us, join us. We're here, we're live. Join us, we're live. What's today's date behind the glass? It looks like it's April 14th, 2021. Fair weather in Pittsburgh today. Just fair, just fair. And this is 10 o'clock talks. Yes, it is. Hey, I got to do something here. Got to make announcements for people. All right, so you're going to be dividing and conquering over there, right? Just between two. I'm talking behind the glass here. So we're going to have two.
I'm going to stream Facebook to the groups.
Okay, no, not all the groups. You're gonna just stream that to my news feed. My page is fine, and yours. That's all. Yeah. So hello. We're here. I don't know. I'm not getting any digits on anybody yet. Anyway, YouTube, hello. I apologize. Just you're catching us behind the scenes here just for a moment while everybody's triggering and the streaming starts to go out. Yeah, we get help with that kind of stuff, and that's fine. That's fine. So, yeah, with that said, I shouldn't have no more excuses, you would think, right? But in America, there's always an excuse at times, right? Always an excuse. So, anyway, so cool. What's first? What do you guys want to talk about? Any questions? No, we're blank all the way around today. What's going on? Okay, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to rock with this the way I normally do. First, I want to say, always remember to support your small businesses. Please do that. Tonight is brought to you by two beautiful ladies out of Pittsburgh. Lindsay up at the Salon Atmosphere. If you want beautified and you like extensions and so forth, go check her out. And also a very dear lady friend that I have in Pittsburgh here, who I got to shout out for, because I know people are going to try to get married this summer, right? That's the big deal for a lot of people. Everybody's been in hibernation for too long. So with that said, yeah, why don't you guys, check out I Do Designs by Eva, please. She's at McKees Rocks, PA. Check her out. Beautiful lady, a talent. True talent. And same with Lindsay. Please check these guys out. They're great people. And I also want to say this: help somebody else's small dreams. They're big dreams. They're all their dreams, especially during these bad times. Pick out some friends, go pay them a visit, try to share a little of your stimulus and just your wealth that you do have and you can't part with. So please do that. Let's get into some news, and it will be what it is because it's news. So I want to start off with this. A lot of bad things today, especially with the BLM. And, the three communist queens of America who are controlled, and controlled monglers of what goes on in the United States. It seems they have more power than our governors have, because they can get the governors to stand on and all the cities and states to stand on while their political opinion destroys things. And I take my hat off to the guys out in Minnesota yesterday who watched the businesses. And I thought that was really important that had occurred. They were there and they were checking out everybody. But I want to just say this before I get totally into that Southwest PA Bikers is going to be doing, like a run on their bikes. They're doing some type of promotion. I'm going to have more information about that end of the show as it goes on. But on this BLM problem, did anybody catch these videos? I mean, and the mayor this morning on TV, and I mean, he wants to take the protection from the police away from them. And they're dealing with people with anger issues that don't know any better, that come to cause havoc to everybody, that's just terrible. It's terrible. But that's what's going on. So when you have stuff like that, it complicates matters. And then you have this mayor who comes out and basically throws his own police department under the bus. And that's nothing new because in Pittsburgh here, that same factor has been brought up. And they do want to make radical changes. The officer who tried to protect the situation involved, that has now brought this all up and about, has been charged with second-degree murder charges, already arrested, and she's not going to get out on bail. So we're in a world of disarray and disbelief on how the narrative of everything goes. It's just terrible. And I want to tell you a little bit something about our government. And I'm like, these guys should be called citizens of the United States, even. The left wing supports, as everybody knows, certain parties and companies. And these parties now are growing. You're seeing them surface. They're jumping over to the left, follow the money trail. I would assume, you go where it's good because you are a corporate business. That's what you're going to do. And we know that the government supports, businesses when they get what they want from them. But always remember something, big corporate businesses, when they're done with you, they'll drop you like a pancake. You'll be done. You'll be done. None of it's going to matter anymore. And that is the truth. That is the truth. So, yeah, I mean, we're in terrible times. It looks like 2020 could reoccur all over again. Portland's been having problems and fires in federal buildings. And now with this happening, and this young gentleman, from what we know, wasn't even at the right of things. And the officer actually put in a resignation. I think the chief of police did as well. They tried to bring peace by doing that and it was all figured out, but that wasn't enough. They have a mayor who wants to backstab his own police department, even though what you see is what you get right on the videotape. It seemed like there was totally, like I said, for the last couple nights here, it's been an error of judgment or nervousness, and something happened that shouldn't have. But now you have the Floyd family meeting with the Wright family, and yeah, they're sharing stories, and I'm sure this is just going to turn into a nightmare. I know that it's been said that the National Guard has been in some areas deployed to Minnesota. I don't know if that's really fact. I did receive some type of small video that did say a little this and that. So the possibilities, I guess, are there for that. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm thinking is going on. So I made a bad judgment right here. I turned up the volume and I shouldn't have. But anyway, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I do stuff like that. That's all I can tell you. I do stuff like that. Hi, Mary. How are you? Watch this video. No, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to learn this new system. It's crazy here. It's crazy. Okay. Hi, Mary Kay. Hi, Mary Kay. Hi, Eddie Parker. How are you? But anyway, let me get back to this because this is really important, guys. Thanks for jumping in and listening a little bit. I'm talking about all this BML and the police and the arrest of the police officer who retired, the captain that gave, basically, he took his retirement, walked out the door too. They probably won't receive it now. They got the mayor stabbing him in the back. Goes on national TV today. I thought he was a laugh. I mean, go take your knee. Unless he truly is one of the BLM, and he could very well be that. And also the media this morning, they jumped right in this, and it's all about it's a black thing in our black community. Look, we have a great community with all colors in it. Leave this alone. Leave this narrative out of it. But they won't. They won't. And to me, it's a narrative to change something of heat or something more to come. And that's normally where they fall with things and within things. So when you have that, it puts us in a dilemma as people because it's frustrating. There's much anxiety that comes on to us. We're seeing things we don't want to see. We're seeing things we don't want to believe we're seeing, but we are. Videos are going around. They're just nuts on what some of these young people were just doing to a passerby. I mean, I posted some things on Michael Anthony. You can check that out if you want. Please do, please do, and you make your own judgment there. And I have a lot more, but the problem is, I'm afraid that they'll shut my room down for the group, as well as probably what I'm doing here. But it's not good. It's not good. We'll talk a little bit more on that. But remember, when it comes to the government, they've always supported arms to people that shouldn't have got it, money to people that shouldn't have got it. It's what the government does. And now you have BLM, and it's an organized group of communism to me. I call the three queens of communism the BLM plantation. I'm not saying they may not have started out somewhere, along the line with a good intent, but it's not there now. And what we see is it's a total narrative of Keller, and now we have our own president doing it. Yeah, our own president. All the cities and states pretty much are doing it. We have a lot of. We do have states stepping up though that are talking about it in a big way. That are like, hey, too much is going on here, and they're going to protect their own as they see fit. But in Minnesota, it looks like they're going to have huge problems tonight because I believe that the mayor put out a mandatory order of like he's taking their weaponry away from them, all except for their guns. Maybe I don't even know. Maybe they took the guns too. But it's incredible. It's incredible where it's going and what the United States is turning into. And you should be scared because if they can do this, they're going to do that. So expect something else. Is all I'm going to say. Expect something else, without a doubt. So let's get on a little bit further here. I talked a little bit about last night. I want to go over it in case you missed some of it or you left the segment early. There is a lot going on with the kids in school, and even us in Pennsylvania here. Our own governor of Pennsylvania says that he wants to basically make sure all college students are vaccinated before coming back. So if you don't believe in the Frankensteiner, the hit in the arm, guess what? You're not getting back into school. You're not going to get your education. Talk about an entrapment piece, right? And then you have, for the younger kids, working with the health department, and they're not even giving good or enough time and ways to the parents to let them know they have the same outlook and they want to vaccinate the children. And they don't care what you think about it. If you miss the response or you miss the notice, guess what? They're going to get the vaccination. So, I'd be real scared of this Frankensteiner myself. I really would. I'd be real scared of it. I have more to talk on it. The president made some comments about it. A lot of things have been said, to be honest with you. So I'll say that from here. And I'm just looking at something on the screen here. Just give me a second. Okay. So it's something about an event. I'm gonna do a post for an event for somebody. Help a group out. Yeah. So it's terrible, and I don't know where we're going. And I'm trying not to be frustrating and too loud because I'll come out and I'll get all pumped up and get riled up, America, and I feel like that. But at the same time, it's all within anger. And I don't want to put people in some type of mind. Yeah, I mean, just talking amongst friends and so forth. I had some company, and people. Yeah, the more you read, the angrier you get, and that is the truth of it. That is the truth of it. And you're seeing it. You're sharing all my stuff I see, and I'm happy to let you do that. I really am. So remember, Taking Back America. If you're on YouTube checking this out, check it out. Come in, join the group. You'll like it. You'll enjoy it. It's getting ready for the administration to turn over to some other people, and they're going to do real good with it. I'll keep an open eye on it, though. I'll be vigilant towards it. And okay, I know. I said Taking Back America to the group. Yeah. Okay. We have these little things here that go on. I'll say it again. Later, not now. Because if I would rerun that, I know I'm right. I know I'm right. Sometimes the snowflakes miss, but that's okay. The important fact is this: I'm on YouTube, and this is 10 o'clock talks. I am Michael Anthony. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really do. Remember, you can make America strong again. You can make America wealthy again. You can make America proud again. You can make America safe again. Donald Trump said that. And I believe it. The problem is when we get him back, if it takes to 2024, what is going to be left? What are we going to be able to salvage? The economy is going to be flattened. Money's going to be worthless. And we're going to live in a racist America. Now, I know colors of all sorts out there aren't going to believe what I just said, but it is going to exist somewhere. And that's going to be the problem. So it will exist somewhere. I'm not going to say it's going to be, something's going to happen without a doubt. Hey, Eric Leon, you just got on. How are you? How are you? Okay. So with that said, try to stay strong, keep alert, do the things that you need to do for your family and everybody that's important around you. If your daughter's going out, if your son's going out, have a talk with them. We don't know what any city's going to walk into, what type of trouble. But the minute the media starts suggesting there's going to be issues, guess what will happen? That's almost like a clue. And I don't know if you saw some of the narratives of things, of some videos that are out there. Was it? I'm going to ask behind the glass. That was CNN, right? Or MSNBC? MSN, whatever. These two clowns got set up evidently by somebody with a camera, and they're the directors of the news platform, whatnot. You guys got to check it out. They spilled the beans on a lot of what's going on and the propaganda and what they're told to do and what the narratives are. And they have a bunch of them. And the new narrative will be this spraying of the sky, which is the new dim and sun and dim. It's Gates and China partnering to basically block the sunlight out through the summer. And they're doing it already. They've been doing it for years, but now they're going to do it. Now that it's announced, the cloaking is going to become more prevalent, and you're going to see the evidence of it much more because you won't see sunlight as you have known it before. And that is the truth. That is the damn truth. Look up, the information's out there. It's been said. It's been said in many interviews and so forth. So check it out. That said, I do want to bring up something else about that. There's more coming out on the Evergreen. And still, I had a bunch of information from people and not so much information from anybody that I felt had an importance to where I look for things at. But now I heard a little bit more about it, and it seemed actually that this boat had much cargo of a lot of the cloud seeding program that Gates is involved on. So these were chemicals that were coming here, I guess, to start the objective of what they're going to be doing as soon as they can be doing it. So right now, the boat's pretty much sitting parked at an idle. And also, weaponry was found. I still can't get any verification, and I hope that it's not true about children, but it's being speculated, but not through any good source that I know of. It's been being speculated around the internet. So it could be just false narratives of people trying to create excitement, and are really doing the wrong thing by doing that. But I do know a lot of chemicals were definitely pretty much stopped. I don't know who's doing this work really, but somebody is doing something. Who are they? I'm not sure. I don't think any of us know. Keep a close eye, be watchful, and see what happens. Just see what happens. It's the best we can do, right? But this thing of Keller in America is going so far overboard. It's pathetic. It really is. It's going so far overboard. It's sad. It's truly sad. So if it's your first time checking in with us, You probably kind of know what's going on. I'm getting a lot of screenshots over there. You getting these screenshots?
I'm getting messages.
Yeah. What are they? Anything I need?
Well, we're having a little bit of a disagreement on the vaccine.
Oh, what's the vaccine disagreement? The Frankenshot.
Nana got it.
Yeah, Nana did get it, and she knows I love her to
She
death.
disagrees with your stand on it.
She
And
can do that.
she's right. She said that's the way we got rid of polio and smallpox. And then,
Nana, let me say this to you with all respect, and I have nothing but respect for you. You come here, I know it's out of love. I welcome you. The thing about it is, I look at information and I valid. Everything you tell me is valid. I get about the early vaccinations. I get that, and that's what taught us that this is not a vaccination. Okay, that's what declassifies this as a vaccination. That's the part that feared me. So, with all respect to you, we can agree to disagree. That's fine, and I'm good with that. I have fear in it, and I hope that children don't get it. And I have a lot more information. I do send you things, but I don't want to put the narrative of what I have from very, very well informed people, not that have been given information, but actually were in the creations of vaccinations their whole life and actually worked for the founders in the pharma who created this. And that would be Francis Boyle, Dr. Von Bosch, and Dr. Tenpenny. I can gladly forward you more information because I would only want you to have it. And from what I know of it, I don't want to get into because I have nothing but love and respect for you. And anybody that comes here, let me just say this: we are going to have areas where we agree to disagree. I got nothing but love for you, sweetheart. I swear that's true. And you know where I'm at. I know where you're at. And I hope we can see past that and move on because we still have a big fight. And you know that. You know you're on my side. I'm on your side. So we hit a little bump in the road, but we'll be good. We'll be good. We're going to sit across from each other and talk about it and laugh. But I truly hope from both sides that we can just coexist, be happy, and that somehow, all this just works out. So I'm going to get passed on to Frankenshot there, okay? Or, now a little bit more known as the Frankensteiner. But no, truthfully, there's a lot out there. I always tell everybody, don't judge me, and go out there, look, do your own investigating. And it's true. There's a lot of stuff out there. There really is. And I don't want to irk anybody off, not in a bad way. It just doesn't work for me. All right. So, is there any other thing that I can make a comment to? Just about that? Okay. Hey, it's all good because you know what? It's okay to disagree and have good conversations. Does she have anything she wanted to add to it? I don't want to cut anybody off.
no, someone responded to her and said, well, sucks, it's not a vaccine, it's poison.
Well, um,
See what it's going to do to people.
that's the whole scare factor.
It will attack your God given awesome immune system.
That is a big positive scenario that's come up in a lot of ways. None of us really know. We're going to have to live to that point to get to it to find out. And I just hope everybody's well from it. But now they're trying to force it on children. I don't know if anybody feels that that's right. And college students, again, as I said. So there we have those types of things. Forced vaccination. I don't know. I'm not for that. I think parents have a right, even for their college students. If the government allows them a credit, income tax earned credit for their child going to school, the parent still has the right to refuse it. And yet the governor of PA says they don't have that right, and he wants to see all children. Otherwise, they don't come back to school for their education. So there again, that is a bunch of that doesn't work for me. That's not how it works. That's not freedom of America. It's a government cult. And it's going to get a lot deeper if you stay around and listen to me. It really is. I want to tell everybody on Facebook now because of limited timeshares and so forth, and how this works now. YouTube is probably the more feasible place for you to go. And keep in mind at 10 o'clock, the full episode will be uploaded. You can watch it in its entirety tomorrow, all day, or whatever. You can come over, jump in, hit subscribe, follow, and we can talk more there through the evening. Facebook is I was getting a lot of views. Yay! I really was. Part of their thing was they didn't. I don't think they think I fit their format. They're allowing me here and they're giving me a little bit of space, but I don't think I fit their format. Not because of what I talk about, but because of the time that I spend with you guys talking about what we do talk about. And remember, everybody, um, there's a peaceable way for us, even as human beings, to have conversations about all this. We all have our our thoughts and our education and the things that we learn about on a daily basis. But right now, what's really like important to me is this BLM and the fear that these kids can go on. And you saw what happened in all these states. Of I mean, and the police were told to stand on. They're being told to stand on pretty much in Minnesota. Are we going to see a rehab of that all over again? Possibly. It possibly seems that way. I also want to bring up something about the Major League Baseball again and Taking Back America. We're going to be doing like a help sponsorship through Newsmax. I was waiting for my email to come today, and it's not just me. There's a bunch of podcasts. They're getting everybody involved, and it's going to be like a walk or a stand up. We're doing something. I think Newsmax is going to lead the way. We're going to all follow and share the information on. And it's going to be like a worldwide protest to the government for what they did with the Major League Baseball and the date and so forth. And then I'm going to bring up this too. All of a sudden, the troops are going to come home and guess on what date? 9/11. Well, some people are going to say right now, Michael, you're in dreamland again, because you know what? It makes perfect sense to me if you follow bibliology. Um, and it really does. 9/11 and 9/11. If you look up when dates match, they mean something. And it seems like they have a large narrative of following a book uh, and, and having episodes fall in the same way. So, what is it that he would choose 9/11 to bring him home when we had such a devastating date in America? And again, call me a theorist, and I am. I say that the United States definitely had something to do with that. I don't care what anybody says. I think all wars are planned, all things are executed when they need to create them or to cover something up. Something bigger happens. And there's a lot of very questionable things about 9/11 that, again, you know, it's kind of like the Frankenshot. You got this side and you got that side, but no investigation. That's truly what it is. In both instances, no investigation, only theories by people who've done it their whole life, but they don't know what they're talking about. That's the sad part. That's the sad part. And, I'm sorry, I don't trust our FDA, I don't trust our CDC, and I don't trust Fauci or Gates or the pharmas. I just don't. And then you have J&J, the whole thing, something happened majorly. Women are getting it. There's blood clots occurring in them. They are giving us numbers. We don't know if they're factual, but somewhere 6 or 7 women were having, and usually I think they, is it heparin? A blood thinner that they use. I can't remember it off the top. Is Nana Stone? She'll tell me. A blood thinner. Heparin, I can't remember. I know it, though. I used to have to handle it for my father once in a while. But anyway, yeah, so they're clotting up. And now the whole narrative is just take it off. They want it pulled down. And to me, the narrative of pulling it down is because they came out with a one-shot system and they were doubling out what anybody else could do. The other pharma companies got awfully mad about it. No, just consider this, because I think it's fact. And again, it's my opinion. You have the right to choose what you think. But I think it's fact. I truly do. I truly do. With that said, yeah, we're going to talk about things like that, I guess, through the whole evening here. Well, for a while. I also want to say something about a young fellow that I'm not going to say. Well, he was in South Carolina, and he was approached by a few people, and not in a good way. His home was, and it was put under threat. And a young man, 13, his name was Ken. I won't say his last name because he's a minor. Even though it made news, I'm just not going to do it. Well, he went and got his mother's gun, and he defended his home. And he wound up killing one of the criminals that were on scene, trying to threaten and breach his home. He shot him. He killed him, and that's never good. But I mean, I'm sorry. I want to clap for you, kid, because not even a grown man could stand there. They could stand there and possibly feel and not even shoot. I've seen where things like that have happened. Turns out that this guy had an armful of criminal threatening type of actions against him already. So the kid did everything right, really. And I hope everything does truly work out for him. And because, I mean, you might not be charged with anything in defending your own home and him being a minor to boot. But the fact remains, it could be a psychological thing in time. And so you hope for the best for that. But he was only 13 and he had to take things into his own hands. So let's talk a little bit about the government cult and a little bit more about BLM. Let me get some papers here. All right, we'll start from the back and go to the front. That way I know I'll cover it. I somehow miss pages sometimes on my notes. I really do. So Rand Paul does call out Fauci as well, which he's been doing for a long time. And he wants to see him charged on reckless fear mongering for the narrative that he's putting out there this way. Because they're having meetings. We don't see everything. We don't always watch the TV. Some people do follow it real close. Again, we're getting back into the area I just came out of, but it was something that was there. My notes come in different patterns through the day. You don't always see something when you're writing. It's not like I keep a log. All right, the Frankenshots go here, the Republicans go here, the Democrats. Nah, it gets all squashed together. I just talk. And to me, it works like that. For me, it works like that. Now, Christine Nome, I think she's in South Dakota, up around Sturgis. She told Biden right on, you're not bringing any immigrants here. And they have big plans for planning them. They really do. A lot of videos out there. I've shared some. They're basically pumping them into the American public, and they don't care who they're putting out there. We have a real strange government without it. No, they're cult up in Nancy land. They're their own little cult. And again, like I told you about the troops, 9/11. So that came into mind. It was right in front of me again. But the Capitol Police, this is real good. And I talked about it last night about this FBI agent Ray, and they finally came clean on some things. And this insurrection was pre-planned. And people inside Nancy land knew about this. They were told about it days ahead. The Capitol Police requested help and backup days ahead. The FBI knew that there was going to be mega people there, took no actions because they were basically told to stand down from Nancy land. And once the insurrection started, the Capitol Police were again ordered to stand down to let the approach come in. All planned. Amazing, isn't it? Utterly amazing. Utterly amazing. So we're going to be cutting off of Facebook here in a minute, I believe. I'm going to say thank you on Facebook. And if you can, jump onto YouTube channel if you want to. That would be great. Follow us over. Hit subscribe. I appreciate it. And if you can't do it, that's fine too. I want you to come as close as you can to checking it out tomorrow on the live feed will be uploaded. So do you want to? Yeah. Join us over here. Come on. Jump the other camera. YouTube it. All right. So we're still on YouTube. And let me do this here before I go any further. I don't have it put together yet. Okay, that's fine. We can at least give a little announcement anyway that PA bikers are going to be Southwest PA bikers are going to be announcing a bike ride. Oh, that's what I was hearing. I was hearing this in the little thing. Okay, so they're going to be having a bike ride for the vets for us. I'll get more information. It'll come out. There's going to be like an original flyer made up. Maybe we can do a screenshot and put it up as well and help everybody out there because they're big supporters to the 10 o'clock talk. And Edgar Snyder's supposed to be involved, and they're going to be going around somewhere having a thing in Homestead under the bridge. Oh, wow, that's really cool. I know a lot of people that work under the bridge. Some might even sleep there. But no, in all honesty, that's cool. So that gives a little bit, and that's for Pittsburgh, PA. Pittsburgh, PA, Southwest PA bikers. And I am solo. Okay. That's a biker thing. I think. I don't know. I had to just yell that out. All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. How can we make this shit show any more interesting about Washington? Not me, them, Washington, D.C., and the Nancy Land Project. It's what it is. It's a shit show up there. And they don't have any problem about anything that they're doing. They could care less that you see it. And that really scares me. I mean, honestly, I don't fear much, and I really don't fear them as individuals. I fear what they're going to do to the country and what the possibilities are of the control mechanism that they really do have in place that's unforeseen right now. And I do know of some things that they could do, and they could cause catastrophic issues if we do the wrong thing. But they are really pushing buttons here on the Patriots. And they are. And to the Christians out there, I want to give you a hand, say thank you for all the prayers and everything you guys do. And America needs you more now than ever. And we say that all the time. We said it before, but hey, keep them coming. Support America. Do what you can. I also want to say hi to Terry Anderson. He's been coming on, doing a lot of live feeds. Get behind him down at the Patriots at Large. Check them out. They're doing a lot of footwork in Texas also. I also want to say how bad I feel for the officer who was shot in Texas. He got shot multiple times, 3 assailants, and they got away. That's not a good issue either. So there is things in an uproar. But I also want to say this, we had a couple things happen. You have the Floyd issue. It's in court right now, and they demand justice or they'll basically burn down the United States. And they kind of leaked that out. Yeah. Coming from the 3 communist queens of the BLM, who are majorly supported by everybody in Washington, not to mention huge money supporters. And these chicks, they can take up to 71% of the profits and not even be taxed on them. Yeah, true. Then the other percentage of money they can feed into their families and do whatever else they want to do. So it's incredibly crazy. It truly is. Okay, just going through some papers there. But another day in America, right, people? Another day. It's real sad. So did they ever bring up the fact that there was 50 officers killed throughout all this? Does the media ever mention any of the 50 that perished that were trying to protect and serve and all died in incidences, shootings, accidents, everything, and all the unimaginables that did occur? Did they say anything about 50 lives? No. They're going to talk about a young fella, that had some issues, and then they found out he had a warrant. Again, not a bad scenario, not to bring it up. To me, in my mind, it goes on like everything I saw today that goes on. So you do have that. Now, I'll just to get off track a little bit to clear the mind. This is a pretty decent thing coming out of West Virginia from the governor down there. And he says he would like to offer 50 families a $12,000 gain move to work there from home. You don't even have to get employed in their economic situation. You can work in Pennsylvania or Ohio and work out of home, and they're going to give you $12,000 just because you moved there and you're willing to do that, because they want to bring in people and they want good people and good voters and so forth. So that's a great thing. I also want to give a quick shout out to Steel City Installations. Great people. Check them out, man. They do everything foam. They're just fantastic guys there. Talk to John and I can get you any information and phone numbers if you want them. So, then we got a little bit more on Biden coming up here, and him and he wants to extend support only to a Black American public now. and a much larger capacity of anything that you're even seeing, like being allowed to be shared now to the illegal immigrants coming in with the border crisis that we're having. So they are really putting us in a racial war. They want to put us in a racial war. I really believe they want us to act on something. And the only thing I can say is let these mayors tell their police to stand down. And I believe the patriots are going to give these an ass kicking where these people deserve it. They're going to stand up because they were standing up last night. They were standing up and protecting businesses last night. And I think if it comes down to that, and we're a city of issue just like that. Comments made right on the media by this Mayor Peduto in Pittsburgh. I don't know what your cities and state are like. You hear these encounters better than I do where you're at, but I know they exist and they're out there. And I know the threats were widely made already. And I know there were states last night that already had not just the issues that's been going on the last couple nights with the dollar store and a Foot Locker, a Walmart. These people went and cleaned it out. And the officers were basically told to stand down. Did anybody hear anything about an arrest, really? I mean, there might have been a couple, but now, as of today, this mayor doesn't want anybody up in Minnesota to touch anybody. Not really. Not really. It's asinine. It's not America. It's not by any means. And, I had an incident even when I was a kid, and I did. And I got severely beaten, and it wasn't by white police. I was in a job working. I truly was. And I won in court on this. I did. I won in court on this. I had like 60 people show up. They didn't know what to do against these officers. And again, they weren't white. And I actually filed suit. I really did. And this was before Can't We All Get Along? This was right before that. And literally with billy clubs and all these things. And I suffer from movements in my hands, neuropathies, which is a dual problem. And I developed something called reflex sympathetic dystrophy from all the damage they put into my neck. And they basically put me in such a spot I couldn't do anything. They suppressed me from being able to do anything because my father worked for the city of Pittsburgh. And he was getting ready to retire. And they said to my father, who was pretty up in a position with a good retirement coming at him for that time, and they told him basically, if you don't stop it, you'll lose your job. And I had no control. I had great attorneys. Ira West, one of the best. He fights the school board and protects up here. Just happened to know the guy was all coincidence. Didn't look for anybody the best. Just happened to be one of those guys. This is all verifiable without a doubt. So this all was when the minorities weren't working and they were being brought in. That's why I said we've been over this forever. We've been a good culture. But this incident happened to me. And they literally beat me down. I was working at a job. I got blamed for opening you can believe this or not, everything, a fire hydrant. I was watching it. I was leaning over a gas pump, just enjoying myself. This kid was putting his butt into the fire hydrant. The water would spray over his back. It would go in the windows. And this cop approaches me and says, "You opened that." And I was like, "I did not open it." And 50, 60 people did see it. Like I said, I won. I rocked it. I did. I won. But when it came down to it and the litigation part, because they hurt me bad. They really did. And I had to walk from it. It was that or take my father's future from him. And you do what you have to do when you're suppressed like that. So suppressions come in a lot of different ways. And like I said, it's all verifiable. It happened in the city of Pittsburgh, PA, and they can all kiss my freaking ass right now because I don't care. And if I would have walked past any of them in my later part of years, I would have loved to have seen any one of them. And I'll never forget that woman cop who started all that. I did nothing. I was working in a place, truly. And she just happened to pick me, long-haired kid. He must have been the culprit. Well, she was wrong. She found it out, but I couldn't even do nothing. So, these people are going to tell us and give narratives, and I'm giving you a factual, true story. And I was suppressed. I couldn't do nothing about it. Just thought I'd throw that in there. And it's true. It's fact. All the information's still somewhere. I would bet. So if an attorney's out there and he wants to look at that, go have fun. Because you know what? It was racist. And it wasn't the type that you think it is. Now, it was reverse role play for me, and it was at the time when they were trying to build a force of multicolor. And I was never against that. And I don't even hold it against police. I don't want the police defunded in any way. I don't want to. I mean, these just happen to be, it was a bad situation. It was caused by one person's mistake and a lie that caused a reaction of a bunch of other police to show up for me when it happened to me. So these are the types of things that happen, just like, the shooting. Maybe this officer didn't quite know the whole circumstance. I don't know. But things do happen, and they're not always right, but they're not always wrong. You know, I think this officer's been misjudged. I really do. And the scenario of it all has been, and the mayor's making it much worse. And he's a deadbeat. He's just a deadbeat. He's not a leader. He's a disgrace to our country. And I'm sure other people are going to talk the same type of narrative that I just did about him. That's the way I see him. So, American products made by American people in the U.S. Something's going to be coming at you. Hopefully, we'll be able to give them a lot of support. And then we have, like I said, that Texas officer. That kills me. I don't like to see that kind of stuff. And was it all caused by this? Is this just more superficial BS that's causing an issue like this? It could be the possibility of what it is. But they will provoke anything on the American people, and they are provoking war on us right now up at Nancy Land. It probably goes to Pelosi and Schumer, and they call these people, and these people call these kids. And we know because in one instance that Harris and her nephew, there is a phone transcript out there that insurrection that day. Yeah, her nephew was in on it. So yeah, we're just too much, right? Just too much. Then Biden picked for the Pentagon policy chief, opposes sending troops to the border. So he handpicked somebody, and they want nothing to do with the border, and they don't think that he should act on it. So it's going to be an open border, which constitutionally says we are no longer the elite, legitimate United States of America, because we have extinguished an open passage on our border. When you don't secure borders any longer, they become vacant. What are we? I don't even know where we stand with that anymore. But I know we have Terry, Patriots at Large, down there fighting. Candace Owens. Maybe Trump will show up down there. We have a lot of media that went there. Ted Cruz and the Meatball Crew all went down there. The senators, where were they when all this happened January 6th? Yeah. What happened with that? Same with Pence. Why did people, I went by another sign today. Why did they have Trump and Pence signs up? I mean, cut his name out. Really, cut his name out. Just crazy. Let me see what I got here for you guys. I hope everybody had a good day. And remember, this is 10 o'clock talks. Talk nightly now on YouTube channel, and we do uploads into Facebook. I hope you guys can get that and check it out. If come in, share, whatever you guys do. I don't know if it's called share or follow or subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. But, it's going to take a minute to get it there. It's going to definitely take a minute to get it there. So, human rights lawyer slams, the government, our government, and the Board of Education. And this is going back again to that same narrative that they really want to bring back up. But I think we left a lot of people in Facebook, and that's just the way it is. But they secretly really want to vaccinate the children. And she found this out. She's an attorney, and she's doing everything in her power. She's out of California, but it's happening in more states than that. So she's a human rights activist lawyer, and she's slamming the government because it's a WTF down in Cali for what they're going through. And they are going to try to do everything they can to cheat to get these shots. What is it so important about this shot if we don't want it? I don't. I talked to a lot of people. Some are going to decide to even get it. I don't know what makes them do it or want it. I don't see enough evidence that I want it yet. No, by no means. I just don't. And there's also a German team who has now offered a pretty substantial amount of money if they can disprove their findings in any way by any pharma company, any bio person, anybody of anything that knows about the vax, a very large sum of money to prove them wrong. Now, nobody in the past 3 months has been able to come up to them and take them up on their offer. Makes you wonder even more. Makes you wonder even more. It's a German team and they've done their homework. And I don't know how many may be aware of this or may not be aware, but it was a cash offering to anyone that can prove it's safe. And no one has come forward to do it. I would want money if I knew I could prove somebody wrong, wouldn't you? I mean, yeah, why not? Just puts that much more on the table, on the plate. Um, all I can say is people consider what you're doing. And I'm sorry that I'm stuck between BLM and this VAC thing tonight, but they were the importancies of the day. I mean, with all the activity going on, to be honest with you. I also want to talk a little bit about what I call the halfway ins and the halfway outs. It's people. They're either halfway in or they're halfway out. And that's the truth of the matter. That's exactly what it is. And a lot of people just can't make up their mind, even though they're for one side. Like, how far will they go? How far will they get involved? How far will they protect their country? How far are they willing to work to make the country better? And when I asked them, would you join us? Because, I may ask somebody locally to me, they won't respond back to me. They'll come out, they'll post shit everywhere. Rah, 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 rah. We need you. We need you to do some footwork. Will you help out through Pittsburgh? And I don't hear back from them. I don't know what it is about the halfways, but we have a lot of halfways. We really do. And that's not an ignorant term. It's just a nickname. I get like Nancy Land, the Frankenshot. I give things my own name. I do things stupid like that, but have any of you experienced that? Because I know I sure and hell have. I sure and hell have. No joke. No joke. Uh, you know, all I can say is maybe they live in their own fear and they're afraid of their own speech or what somebody's going to think. That doesn't make you much of a man or a woman. There are people out there, strong voice. They're not near me. The ones that I do know, they're not near me. I need help in Pittsburgh to make Pittsburgh better. We got voting coming up, and I want to destroy these guys. I want them out. I want to take our city back. I want to give it a leg to stand on and a future. Well, excuse me, and a future, because we don't have it. We just don't have one. Not now. So, support our American products and our smalls. That's real important because I see people, as I said last night, I've almost said reported. I'm not a reporter, but I did talk about it. In Pennsylvania alone here, across the board, we had like 31% and less, and businesses going bankrupt and out of business. The money came a little too late. I think they wanted to see a number of closures, and now money gets released. Will any of these entities be able to save themselves? Maybe so, but I think a lot of them already, did what they needed to do. They 86th on the bus and they got their stuff out from where they were, or they just shut their door to the building, and they probably don't want to deal with it no more because they probably truly are fair. It's not a good thing to try to even open back up. And I'm with them, and I can feel for them on if that's their logic, because that's the whole future outlook as it seems to be. I can't go against them. I want to see them succeed and be there, but they could totally be right. And I'm projecting something in the next 6 months to go terribly wrong. And I really believe that. I really believe there's going to be a false narrative. Something's going to occur. Something's going to happen majorly, and they're going to want us back. They're going to want us entrapped. Yeah, it's a sad place to be for all of us. Sad place to be for all of us. But again, I wish people wouldn't live in so much fear, the halfways, but there's so many that are halfway in, halfway out. They want to do it, but now also hundreds of millions supposedly now are available for all the renters and also to the landlords. I've got a good friend who gives me a lot of information on that. But if you don't know about it and you're a landlord, one of the smalls, you can apply, but you're applying for your tenant. You're probably going to have to produce them. You're probably going to have to produce IDs. You're probably going to have to produce a lease. Do things on the up and up because honestly, unemployment's spanking people for all the theft and fraud that occurred there. And keep in mind, if you're owed anything, the possibility is you might be getting it now because they recovered like $800,000 in Pennsylvania alone. And it might have been more now as of today, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So maybe they'll start taking care of people who are done through their oversight and all missed or got lost in space because they didn't transfer over the new equipment and put it in place, which they could have. They had months to do it way before this happened, but they bought it and they let it sit there. So that was the biggest issues of what was going on when all the pandemic stuff started through President Trump. Now they're also offering the federal employees now. They got 21,000 just for being a chip off the old block as a federal employee. Never missed a day's pay. Never missed a day's pay. Got a $21,000 bonus thanks to Nancy Land up there and the Grape Nuts crew. But that is the truth of it. And now they're offering federal employees who will take an illegal child in, and I'm all for the children, but they're offering a 4-month furlough and some big cash and support for doing this. Yeah, these kids probably deserve a lot better. I'm not going to say they don't. The adults, I ship them back. Don't give these kids back. If they send them up, they don't deserve the kids back. And you don't want to put the kids back in an atmosphere like that. Just send your kid on a 500-mile trip or 200-mile trip or 1,000-mile trip. Although I don't believe these trips are that long. I believe they were transported. Many were transported in. You don't show up looking like, you just put on your jeans for the day with no suitcase, no luggage. Come on, that's a crock of shit. That's not real. And Biden shirts. So Biden let me in. Yeah, well, he's doing it. He's doing it. There's no doubt about that. Can I have your pick? Are you freaking kidding me? I don't know. Something just came up. Like, you can't see me or something? Unbelievable. Yeah, it must have been old. I killed it just so I didn't have to look at it. But anyway. All right. Stupid shit, really. All right. So, $100 million of dollars is available. The unemployment, 800,000. Check into that. They're getting caught back up on base there. There's also added benefits now for families with children. Check that out. I think it was up to 3,000 or 36. So they are giving more to the American people, but in different ways. They're not going to give it to disabled. They're going to try to take Social Security actually from SSD and SSDI and SSI. They want to put cuts now to those policies because people in Washington don't feel that old deserve it. I don't think they deserve their money then. Kimberly Ann comments on something. So anyway, I saw that part. I felt the buzz. So is Dave on tonight? I haven't heard from him either. Maybe he's not even on tonight. He could be in Cyberland. I don't know. Or he got yelled at maybe by the Chihuahuas and his wife. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he checked. He could be out there. I don't know. Maybe he's just being quiet. Federal employees. Yeah. Wow. I hope somebody can take the kids. That's all I can say. So we need to build a new platform, as far as I'm concerned, for the government to make our government a better place. I know that people are already talking about it. Marjorie Green and Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz. It comes down to what they're talking about as regulating time in offices and so forth like that, to be honest with you, which would even pressurize their positions. But I think they finally see that, something logically has to be set up where these people of power are, have a committee of a watchful eye over all them. And every year we can monitor their taxes, their investment sheets, and their disallowments of what they are and are not allowed to do. Because, and then again, even have them sign, which may not even matter because there's so many leakers out there, a disclosure of some sort that says that they cannot even talk about what their position of their jobs were. And I think they're going to try to push this narrative in, but This is going to probably take years to do to even accomplish something of a feat like that. So more shame to the world, more shame to the world. And what do you do? What do you do? All right, I want to get to something else here too that I had. Uh, Down in Texas, Governor Abbott's a rock star. He is. I mean, he's strong. So they had this on Monday. They wanted to redefine child abuse, and it includes supplying or consenting to provide, consenting to provide puberty suppression drugs, hormone replacement therapy drugs, surgical or medical procedures to anyone under 18 for the purpose of gender transitioning or gender reassignment. And that's fantastic. This guy, no matter what happens with Biden, he's the first one to stand up and oppose it. And this is what our governments and governors across all these states, especially the left side, that's out there majorly. I'm not hearing enough from them at all. I don't know what you guys hear, but I'm not hearing enough. A lot of these guys are just like, I don't want nothing to do with this. Well, then you're not running your state in the proper manner as we see fit. Replaced then too. Open up your damn mouth, get involved. Do what like Governor Abbott's doing or Christy Nome or one of them. You know, don't pull Governor Wolf PA on us. You know, are you thinking about jumping sides? You're gonna have an awful lot of patriots putting a bullseye on you. The thing is this: it's going to take strength and power to get us anywhere, especially now, as worse as it as worse can get. It is getting that way. So we're just going to have to keep everything real strong. But this guy in Texas, he's unreal, and he also exposed what happened down there the other night with the I guess the I don't know what the technical term would be for it off the top of my head, but this is where they were housing a lot of children and so forth, and they discovered sexual abuse, rape, children not being fed, uh, deplorable conditions. And he called out the president on it and demanded that they do something, and is launching an investigation in his own state and jurisdiction to do so, to file charges back on the White House, I think, because they're not getting involved. They won't even come out and look at the places. They don't care. They just, it is what it is. Also, in this, the measure would take such acts as felony alongside physical and sexual abuse and sex trafficking, although it carves out an exemption for surgical procedures for intersex children. Now it's a little bit different there, but I get what they're saying. I get what they're saying, and I hope you get that. And I'll leave it at that. I could get into this really, really long thing here, description, but I don't think it matters. I think what I said was the most important part of it. But when you tell your computer to print, it just prints. So it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And it did that, actually. It did that. It just kept going and going, and gave a bunch of stuff that didn't really, really mean a terrible lot to me anyway. No, it didn't. I had something written down, I thought, about President Trump, too. And he was basically saying he's still for this shot. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. I don't know. I mean, I really don't. All right. Speaker Pelosi said she would have fought Capitol rioters should they have entered the House chamber, according to the new report. Pelosi was asked what she would have done if she wasn't evacuated in time, to which she responded, well, I'm pretty tough with a bottle of Jack, and I'm a street fighter. And that's what you get on 10 o'clock talks. Yeah. Anyway, Trump's still for this. I don't freaking get it. I can't read this. It's amazing. I don't get it at all. And I'm lost within it. But he was interviewed and he was asked about the big Frankensteiner, and he did was say one thing. He thought it was a politically motivated shut up to J&J over money and propaganda and so forth and all this. And the big pharma got them pushed aside more than it being a problem, because they know they're seeing these totality numbers do everything. They really are. They're just not reporting them. But that was his thing. And he pretty much kind of recommended it. Damn it, Trump. I don't understand why I need to talk to you, buddy. I really do. I know he's seeing everything. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't. Well, I could have went on tonight for another 3 hours, but I'm not going to do it because I'm up on time on minutes. And when I get to the time point on minutes, it comes to this. I want to thank you guys. Remember, this is Michael Anthony at 10 O'Clock Talks. We are the 10. We come to you nightly for a bit. We talk. I talk. I throw some of my opinions. I try to put in some logic of what I've read. Hopefully it makes a couple great points for you to reflect on and help maybe you decide a good choice, because I can't do it. But if I tell you I'm doing it one way and I believe in it, remember, that's always for me. You have all the abilities to make up your own mind and decide what you want in your life. I want to tell you, take all the vitamin D3 you can. Keep the zinc and the mercury coming as well. Do your vitamins, your vegetables. Space them through a day. Drink plenty of water. Stay off the sugars. Sugars actually don't help the immune system. And we know everything about this attacks the immune system. And at the same token, everything about the Frankenshot does the same thing. And you don't want Frankenstein from it. See, the Frankenshot is when you get it. The Frankenstein is when you got it. You get it? It's like all the effects, or what could be the effects. That's going to be a nightmare if it works out the way a lot have taught us that could seems to be. And they're not even like they're like, no, there's no other way. There's not like, well, maybe we'll see. That's me says maybe we'll see. They're saying no, it ain't going to work like that. They know they know what's there. They know what's in front of them. So yeah, the best we can do is hope for everybody that got it the best, and I do. Even you, Nana, if you're checking this out still. But she's a sweetheart. She knows I mean no harm to her or anybody out there. I don't. It's always going to be your choice. Don't forget, I am on Facebook. You can check out, we have a group down there that you can check into if you check this out and you like it. Or if you're going to check this out through Facebook when it's uploaded at 10 tonight. Do whatever you want. Try to subscribe for me while you're in there. I'd appreciate it, because I'm trying to go for a 2-hour show on a nightly basis, and that'll help me get there. If they don't see the numbers, they'll keep me flatlined, and I'll take whatever it comes, however it comes. But if you can do it, I'd appreciate it. And please listen to the whole segments. That would be a cool thing as well. I appreciate it. So from all of us here at the 10, this is 10 O'Clock Talks. I am Michael Anthony. I'm going to wish you a great night. Please don't judge me. I won't judge you. I promise. From the 10.